I have a confession to make. I have 48 hours in my day. Well, that's what people think I have. That's the kind of time I have in my life. That's what people think because I've gotten DMs from people saying that, how are you able to manage so many things in just one day? How are you able to do so many things in just one day? Somebody even messaged saying that, are you AI or are you real? Because you are at 10 different places doing 10 different things. Well, in this video, I will exactly tell you how I'm able to do that. Well, firstly, let me clear it out. I have 24 hours just like everyone else, but I have certain systems that I have built over the years which have helped me really make the most of my day. Hello, pretty souls. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pankhuri and I am your hype girl. Firstly, before I even get into the topic of this video, I would first like to apologize that I haven't been active in the past 4 to 5 months. I haven't posted any single video. My last video was in February. You can there's going to be a link in the description. You can watch that. But in those past 4 to 5 months, I was completely focused on my business and my business had grew beautifully. And that was the whole reason why I couldn't pay much attention to YouTube. But as my heart always belongs here, I've come back and I have multiple scripts ready. I have learned a lot in these 4 to 5 months and I've, built up a lot of skills, built up a lot of knowledge, gained a lot of ideas and just thoughts on many things, and I just really want to pour it out on YouTube. So yes, you can definitely see a lot more videos coming soon. Before I tell you what the frameworks are, it all begins with just one thing. You need to be insanely obsessed with making your life better, with making yourself better. Because if you're not insanely obsessed or you've not really set a goal that you're so passionate about, you would not be pushing yourself towards working on that goal. And then you would, be bored, be uh, really disturbed or really distracted. Distracted is the right word, because if you do not have insane goal set or if you do not have a really passionate goal set, you would not find yourself actively thinking about it and then working about it. So the base of it is that you have to set goals that you're really really passionate about, that it comes from your heart, and that is what pushes you to work towards it. So now let's dive into the video. All right, let's begin the topic of this video, which is how I'm able to optimize my day to make sure that it feels that I have 48 hours. And to be honest, I often end up asking myself that how is my time moving so slow? How do I find more time to do more things? Also, let me tell you that I have the most unpredictable schedule. Nothing in my schedule is fixed. The only fixed hours of my day are my working hours that I work in my corporate job. Those are the hours that are fixed, and everything else is very unpredictable, because one day I'm shooting a reel, second day I'm editing, third day I'm at a shoot, I'm managing something else, I'm dispatching or packing my orders, I'm talking to brand collaborations and a lot more things. So the only thing that's predictable and that's fixed in my routine is my working hours, and apart from that, everything I just try to manage within the hours that I'm awake. Also, a lot of people have told me that, like, you would sleep very less, right? You would sacrifice a lot on your sleep because you have to do so many things. Let me tell you, I'm a full sleep puglu. Like, I love taking naps, and there are days that I sleep for like 12 hours straight on my weekends, on the days off. But then, yes, there are some days where work is a lot. Sleep is scarce, could be 5 to 6 hours. But then I obviously love sleeping. I just have like one funda. If there's nothing to do, you should just take a nap. You should just probably take a nap. I can fall asleep anywhere, in a moving train, in a moving car. I have slept through takeoff, through turbulences, and I have like just slept because I love sleeping so much. And I think so, enough of me talking about how much I love to sleep. This was just, me telling you all that you can have it all and also be resting, because rest is really, really important. If your health and your rest is not optimized to its fullest, you will not be able to give your 100% anywhere else. So even before, doing many things, the very first thing you should be focused on is on how you can optimize and become a better version of your, of your healthy side, how you can be better at your health, how you can get your health to be really, really good and strong. Because if you do not rest enough, if you do not eat well, and if you do not think positive thoughts, your body is not going to be capable of doing the work that needs to be done. Now, let's dive into how I make the most of my 24 hours. Firstly, let me tell you, if it was easy, anyone could have done it. There are very strict frameworks that I have been following over the years, and they've given me amazing results. So, the very first thing is I don't get unwanted calls. Like, people don't call me, like, my phone is dry. Like, there's the only texts that I get from people on WhatsApp is either work related, or when I say I don't get unwanted calls, I have nobody calling me and giving me gossip. Like, I don't have my phone ringing and people just calling me and just talking for hours and hours, and me being on the call with someone for hours and hours and hours. I had no idea that this was a thing that people just randomly call each other and be on the call and talk about nothing, like just talk about any random thing, and that is how they pass their time. I have strict boundaries, and people, I'm so blessed that my friends know that how busy my schedule or how unpredictable schedules are. So people don't really call, or they text before they're calling. And yeah, so my phone is constantly busy with me working. There's nobody calling me and wasting my time, potentially wasting that potential prime hours where I'm awake, when I'm in a flow state, when I'm working. There's nobody doing that. And I don't entertain calls much if it's not work related. So, yeah, that is the first place where I'm saving my time. My friends are so busy, they know that I am busy, and we all have this kind of, agreement and this kind of boundary that people are going to call when there is actually some work. Like, I did not know this was a thing where people call each other just because they are bored, they are on the call doing nothing, or they are talking about someone else. Now, this brings me to the second and the most important point, I feel. Don't talk about others. Like, if you notice, we all are cumulatively spending a lot of time looking at someone else, talking about someone else. The minute we open Instagram, we are potentially looking at someone else's life, someone else's achievements. We know everything about everyone else's life. And that is what is taking up a lot of our time. I think focusing on my own life and my own things have been possible because I have zero interest in anybody else's life. The only people that I'm truly, truly interested in are the people close to me. Apart from that, I just look at people's story, whatever they post. But apart from that, I have really no interest in knowing what is going on in somebody else's life. The only thought that comes to my mind is why do we have to do so much panchayat? Like, we complain, right? There are aunties who keep gossiping about everyone else. We ourselves are doing the same thing. When we meet someone else, we're not talking about each other, we're talking about a third person. Why do we want to know who's dating who cheated on who bought a house, how much loan they bought it for? Why do we really care about someone else's life? Because the more time we spend on talking about others, the more time we spend looking at someone else build their life, that time is taken out from our own life, and we are not able to use it for our own selves. Now, I was very curious about this whole phenomenon of people talking about others the whole time, and I read it in a research that people who really have nothing going on with their life, nothing interesting going on with their life, talk about others, because when they talk about themselves, people don't listen, and the only validation they ever get is by talking or by gossiping or by bringing new gossips about someone else. So if someone is in a group and someone wants to be relevant, someone wants to be heard or given attention to, that is the time they will start talking crap about others. And this takes up a whole lot of time in somebody's life. 90% of your conversations are about someone else, are about other people. So you're, potentially spending majority of your time talking about another human being. And honestly, I think so it's become so normal to just look at someone else's life, to look at other people winning, that we have not really trained our brain to just think about ourselves, to work on our goals. Now, if I talk about my brain is constantly working on things about my life, what I need to do better, how I can make myself better, how I can make my business better, how I can do things for myself. So my brain is now only thinking about things that are going to be beneficial for my life. Now, the next point being is that you have to be very, very mindful of who you hang out around. Like, this is the foundation of your life, I feel. I mean, I cannot emphasize on how important it is to choose the people that you're hanging out around very wisely, because if you're surrounded by ambitious, smart, people who love their life, who are very happy, kind, generous people, your life will skyrocket. Like, the trajectory of your life would be really, really nice compared to if you're surrounded by people who are talking about others, who are talking negativity, or who are speaking doubt into your life and into your goals. The people you surround yourself with, they will shape your life. And research has proven it again and again. I have seen my own life, the kind of people I surrounded myself with. My life has started becoming so much more beautiful because I have insanely strong supporters, insanely strong friendships. They have always pushed me, and I have pushed people to become better. And that is how I feel I'm also able to do so many things, because my friends keep, pushing me, supporting me, motivating me. And then, it's vice versa. So it's very important that you choose the people around you very wisely. If there's someone who's constantly talking bad about their life, bad about people, it's high time that you really cut them off, or you really make a distance from them. Like, there was a time where I was surrounded with people who would speak doubt into my goals. The minute I would share my ideas or my goals with them, they would come up with saying that, hey, it's not going to happen, nahi ho payega tumse, you won't be able to do it. And I actually cut them off, and my life has become very beautiful, very productive, very happy after I've cut those certain people off that were constantly trying to pull me down. And I think that's something we all should practice, because no matter how old the friendship is, if you are not growing with that person, or if that person is not helping you grow, or just not pulling you, if they're pulling you down, you really need to take a step back from that friendship or from that equation, whatever it is. Because really need to surround yourself with good people. That's the basic, and that's the foundation. Now, this brings me to the third point. A lot of people might not agree with me on this, because human relations are apparently very important to some people. Well, it is important, but you really need to be okay with cutting people off. The minute you realize that this particular person is brewing hate and negativity into your life, no matter how old the friendship is, no matter how deep the bond is, that person will take you down. And if you are not insanely in love with your life, insanely in love with your ambitions and passions, you will be okay, being around that person, because that person will definitely be going down and taking you down with all of that hate and negativity. The day you start falling in love with your goals, you would start seeing that, hey, this person is not good for me because they are brewing that hate and negativity. So I will cut them off. I have a lot of notes written here. What I wrote was, don't let the burden of old friendships take your precious time away. If a particular person is draining your energy, time, and motivation, it's time to cut them off. And I don't mean like break the friendship. You need to have some courage to make boundaries. Like, tell the person, like, hey, don't give me your hate, don't give me your negativity, don't tell me those ideas that you have, just keep it to yourself. Or maybe don't share your ideas to them, just be very nonchalant with them, just go ahead with the friendship, but not really share all your goals and ambitions with them, because then there's a high chance of them telling something to you that you would not really like. And it really happens lot of times that they bring out the worst side of you, because if it is someone very close to you and you share your ideas and your goals with them, they speak something bad, they say ki tujhse nahi ho payega, ya you won't be able to do it. That really creates a lot of emotional hurt. You start feeling bad, not because it is said by someone unknown, because it feels very bad because it is said by your closest friend, your closest family member. If these people say something, that creates a lot of emotional havoc, and that also takes up a lot of time, because then you're dealing with that emotions. You are filled with agony or filled with anger ki, how can this person tell me this? How can this person stop me from doing all the things that I want to? So I would recommend either not tell your goals to people that are telling you bad things or that are, bringing you down, or you can, start making a boundary with them. The last but not the least is to train your mind to be obsessed with self improvement. Like, this is the biggest hack I can tell you. The more you fall in love with self improvement, the more better and the more bigger your life is going to be. The more easier you will find your goals to be met, and the more happier and a more you're just gonna live your life very, very happy, just like how I'm living my life, because I have fallen deeply, deeply in love with my life, deeply in love with self improvement. So any work that I'm doing, even though it's hectic, even though it's, it's really, it's a lot of hard work basically to manage a corporate job, to manage a full-time modeling career, to create content for brands, to edit, shoot, now also YouTube, and something else I was missing out, to, just take care of so many things. It business, yeah, it is so difficult to do all of that, but I'm just so happy doing it. Why? Because I've fallen in love with my life. I've built this life brick by brick. I've, cultivated so many hobbies in my life, and I'm just so happy, even though it's hectic, even though there are days when I'm like very tired, but I'm so, so happy because I've fallen in love with my life, fallen in love with my goals and passions. So the only hack I can tell you is to fall so deeply in love with your life and to build a life of your dreams, that all of the hard work just happens naturally. It just comes out. People ask me, how are you doing it? My only answer is because I love doing it, because this is what I've always wanted to do, and I've built this very passionately. And the more you are loving yourself, the more you are committed to your goals and ambitions, the more time you'll find. And if you try applying all these frameworks into your life, trust me, you will also have 48 hours in your day, and you will be like, oh, I've done so much work already, yet I have so much time left for myself. Now, thank you so much for watching it, and I'm so happy that I'm back on YouTube. A lot of people have asked me like why you have not posted any video, and I was just feeling so guilty, and I am back. Thank you so much for watching this video. My aim is to just give out as much motivation, as much positivity as I can. And I really love doing this. I love talking to the camera. I love giving out my thoughts and my opinions on how you can level up your life, because my goal is for each and every one of you to live the best life possible, and it is possible. Your life, your dream life is right in front of you, and I will help you achieve it. So subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and see you super soon. Bye.